Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Did you bring some ice? Ooh, cha. We might drink it down. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Push it down. Ooh, cha. Ooh, cha. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hey, Diva. Thank you for telling me you could hear me. Hey, Joyce. How are you guys doing? Child, I have been getting my life. The beef sector has been beefing. It can't be beat. They've been dragging each other, just the skin off each other. And I love it. This has been a bloody Easter so far weekend. And I named this Who's Fooling Who? So what I'm going to do is go over to the black sector and I'm going to tell you guys what's been going on over there a little bit because I want to start back mainly dealing with the beef sector because the beef sector has heated up a whole lot and I'm missing a lot of the storylines and I want to get back into the beef sector. And the only way I'm going to do that is keep my ass out these other sectors. You know, keep my ass out from over there in that Mo3 beef sector. Keep my black ass out of that black sector. Keep my black ass out of the elephant sector. You know, I need to keep my ass over here in the beef sector so I can see what the hell going on as it's happening, child. But the other day I mentioned briefly about Mink going to the courthouse and filing paperwork against Foolin. And I also did, spoke about Foolin had put paperwork out on Mink, which this shit done got real over there. Okay. The other day, I think it was the next day after I went live, I was just glancing around. You know how I do, being nosy as hell, looking in all the sectors and seeing what's going on. And I seen Not On My Watch was live. And see, she's a content creator. She don't go live a whole lot. So I said, let me go over here and see what the hell she talking about. And she was playing some recordings, honey. The recording she played was of Foolin, and Foolin was talking to this lady. And I be saying, how the they be getting all these goddamn recordings of what people saying on the phone and all of that kind of bullshit in it. Y'all too trusting. Y'all boast too much on here. Y'all want everybody to know what you goddamn doing. And when you do that, you can't show everything in your hand. You know, you can't win a card game like that. You gotta hold your cards close to your chest and let this shit play out. But see, some people get too trigger happy and they got to show what they doing. But that's what happened. Cool. Not on my watch was playing a recording of Foolin talking to this lady, and kind of find out, which I didn't know, the lady is another woman that Meek is having a problem with. They going through the court system and all of that. And the lady owns a transportation company. Well, Meek had hired her to take her child to and from school. And then, some kind of way, Meek allegedly, the lady said Meek wasn't paying her, so she was taking her to court to get her money on. Uh, so Cooling, I guess she found out the name of the transportation. I don't know how the fuck they be knowing all this bullshit. I ain't digging at nobody like that. When she found this lady, she, they drop her son off at school and pick him up. And child, they was just talking, and the woman was running her mouth and talking about, like she dropped the little boy off at home after school, and he'd be there alone until the coach come and pick him up. It was just too much. Okay. Well, then she played a recording of Cooling. I think she was talking to MHB or some guy. And I was saying, "Oh my God, this is boggling my brain and shit. I got to get out of here." Well, later on, Mick was on a panel, and they was on SD's panel, and he was questioning her about why you go down there courthouse and you know, putting them people in Cooling life. And Mink said, I did what I had to do because I feel in danger for myself and danger for my child because she's trying to get my address. And allegedly, when she was contacted MHB, she was asking him for her address. And see, Mink have moved to a new address, okay? I don't know how long she been moved. I don't be into all that shit. Y'all need to stop. Somebody gonna get hurt bad. This shit been going on 2 damn years, and Cooling is on probation right now. I don't know when the probation gonna be over. It was like she got 6 months probation, and I thought Cooling was settled down with the shit, but Mink says she done sent the prosecutor. I mean her PO. Well, she contacted the prosecutor, and she sent some information to the prosecutor. Well, the prosecutor told her to contact Cooling PO, and they done sent all the stuff to the PO. Now I don't know what's gonna happen with this bullshit or nothing. Mink also said that she is out. Mink herself is out on 2 bonds. She got 2 bonds right now that she out on. I think on the when she go May the 9th, now I'm not sure, but when she go to court May the 9th, I think that's concerning Cooling, but I'm not putting that in stone. It's Mink said that the court that she have to go to on May the 9th is due to her allegedly terrorist threatening somebody. And this shit is crazy. I don't get it. YouTube is not worth that. You know, uh, it's just a mess. And then, like, the way I feel about it, if one can go to the police, if you go to the police on me, I'm gonna goddamn go to the police on you. You know, but I don't get it. It just. And then last night, over in the night, I went over to Ducks because Duck, my boo, he went live last night. Uh, Over there in the Mo 3B sector. And me, because I speak to everybody, so I know some people in the chat, even though they in the clouds, some kind of way, sometimes I can see that. And so when I typed in the MIs, everybody namely saw the MI come up. And I seen Mink in his chat, and I was like, oh my God, what is she doing in here, But I should have knew she was in there because I had spoke to them not on my watch, and I know they real cool. And there was some other people from Mink Camp in there. And that her and Duck have been into it, in war bad, where they talking about, the mamas, and it was just a mess, okay? Well, last night, she came on the panel and she wanted to apologize to Duck. She said, I'm sorry for everything I did. I'm sorry I talked about your mama and, this and that and that and this. And, I just want to apologize, for my actions. It was no reason for me to go that far and, all of that kind of bullshit. Well, Big Baby hit the damn panel and you talking about customer going off. She was saying, what about when you were saying about how his mother was like suicidal and retarded and crazy and sick and almost half dead and Big Baby, she blow the gasket, okay? And Mink, she was saying something about like how they get the body cam and stuff. They've been doing that over in the Mo 3B sector. Like if you get arrested, they've been getting the body cams on each other. Well, they got the body cam when Big Baby got arrested, went to jail. So now they say Big Baby say they gonna get Mink body cam footage from when she went to jail a couple of weeks ago. And allegedly, now it's so many stories going out about this. I guess when they get the body cam, we'll really know why Mink got arrested. But they in the streets over there in the Mo 3B sector, they're saying that Mink got arrested because evidently she had hit and run somebody. And some people saying she got a DWI and didn't have no insurance on her, the big truck that she drives because she's a trucker. It's a lot of rumors going around over there. Okay. So I guess the only way that anybody will figure it out is when they get the police report or whenever they get the body cam footage. That's just a bit much doing all that shit. Now, don't you think? That's doing too much for YouTube. I don't get it. So people are like they show themselves going live, going to the police station, okay? Some people have even showed themselves filling out the paperwork. Some people have even videoed in the police station the questions the police asking you. Why do you think that? Why are you saying this person is stalking you? Why are you saying that this person is a danger to you? And all that kind of bullshit. Do you know we only have 24 hours in a day? Do you know that I have to cook? I have to wash clothes. I have to clean up, go to the grocery store, pay bills, browse through the clothing stores. I like to read. I like to YouTube, watch my series. Now, it's just 24 hours of the day. And then I got to have time to go to the courthouse and to the police station. And then I got to have time to order body cam footage. Now look, my days are full. And my nights are too, because I be on YouTube a lot at night. When do you do what you supposed to be doing in your regular life? If you're doing all of your shit on YouTube and down at the police station. Something is being neglected. Either it's your children or your lover, your husband, or your wife. Are you not going to work? Because I've seen that on here. And then if you don't go to work, your check's short. So your bills still got to be due. Your car note, insurance, house, your mortgage, insurance for your house and car, food, medicine. How, like I said, we only have 24 hours in a day. That's using a lot of your fucking time for nothing. For people in a whole goddamn another state. Don't y'all got better things to do than that? Now look, it's not hard to do. Like if it's somebody just get on your nerves so bad and you just when you see them come in the chat, you just want to scream, get the fuck out of there. Go somewhere else. It's billions of channels on here. Or turn this bitch off. What's hard about turning the goddamn computer off? Go to another app. There's so many other apps. Because it's one app I've been getting things on in my email, like from I get emails from different things that I like. Well, another app has popped up over there and you can get paid on it. I ain't never heard of the app. And so I was thinking about just going over there just to look around. Because, see, I wouldn't know nobody over there. So I'm thinking about just getting the hell out of over here. Because they say you can get paid over there. And all that kind of bullshitting. But it's the places, TikTok, Instagram. I would, before I let YouTube send me to jail, I'd get the fuck off here. I'd take this app off everything I have. This is cray. And so, like last night when I was at Ducks, like I said, Big Baby went off like a rocket on me. And then Jackie hit the panel and she went off too. And they were saying they've been quiet enough. I've been letting you run over me and do all this stuff. And I had pulled all the way back. But you had all of the 24 and half of 25, you've been tripping. So it's now their time to trip. So it's just a non-ending circle. Because if one side pull back, the other one go forward. If the other side pull back, the other side go forward. So it's a non-ending. And then they were saying, Big Baby and Jackie was saying that Mink was trying to make up with Duck because they don't have her and her crew. There's very few places that they can go over there in the Mo3 beef sector because they done got into it with everybody. Or it's got a ruckus everywhere they go, And then, like I said, some people you can't fight on here. You can't argue back and forth with them because your ass gonna be in and out of court. And it is what it is. They can't take a dragging. Okay? And just a minute ago over there on Rick Reed's, I'm back over here in the beef sector now. I'm talking about the beef sector now. Rick Reed drug Heidi from one end of the beef sector to that Zeus network sector where them baddest girls is. He tried to drop off, but she had her nails in his skin, and so he's dragging her around right now, okay? And she was in the chat talking about she was gonna put a restraining order on him and all that kind of bullshit. But Rick did not tell one lie. Everything that man said over there, I remember. I remember when everything happened. And there was more. Because you know how sometimes you might say, oh, no. Then I said, no, let me just type my old regular, ooh, child. Because because I'm sure people think things was coming in people's mind. She should have let that dog lay. She shouldn't have come back over here with that bullshit going at people over here in the beef sector. Because she know that the people that's been here, we know what the hell going on. And she have been out of the beef sector for a long time. And why she come back in like she did, dragging, that was a bad move. Everybody ain't gonna do like Jay Wilson. Everybody ain't gonna act like they don't know what the hell going on. Because if you drag my ass, I'm gonna drag your ass right back. Okay? Now the way Jay Wilson went off on Rodney, that's what he should have been doing to Heidi. You see what I'm saying? Because she drug him for 10 hours. Now Rick drug Heidi over there about 2, and he never missed a beat. He never missed a beat. And he told some things that she really didn't. You didn't want these new folks to know all that goddamn shit, Heidi. You should have left that man alone. And you should have left Deanna alone. Okay? Because they not like Jay Wilson. They not going to put up with it. And I suggest that you go on about your way. Back over there where you was at. Because the beef sector ain't buying what you putting down. And that's just a fact. And that was highly embarrassing. Okay? Because everybody in the chat that's old, that's been here, we know. And we know what you said. We know how your life was. Okay? So he didn't lie about shit. You told this shit. We wouldn't know unless you told him. And girl, he said he gonna put your marriage license out. And girl, that man was a pimp you was married to. And he said that the dates of the pimping was the dates you was dating. And the dates he was pimping was the dates you was married to him. Okay? Now, I'm just saying, you don't want the new people to know all that goddamn shit. But you done stirred up a hornet's nest. And Rick ain't got rid of nothing. He keeps everything. So all that stuff you was putting in the chat about lies and that's not the truth and he was closeted, honey, on Rick first live. The first live he did in the beef sector, the first thing he said, well, I'm just starting it out and I'm just telling you, I am gay. It wasn't no, we think he gay. It wasn't none of that shit. The man told us he was gay. He never was in the closet. On YouTube, nope. So I don't know what that shit she was talking about. That he was down low or DL. He ain't never been DL since he been on YouTube. Not since I know. And I was there when he did his first live. He didn't want nobody having no feelings for him that's female. And he liked males. So he made it clear on his first live that he was gay. So that means you don't want no woman. And there's a couple of girls who tried to like him and stuff, but Rick put that hey, right? Me, he blocked you because he gay. But it's women over here in the beef section that go after the gay guy. Dory, now I'm gonna tell you this here now, y'all. Dory, now I don't know if she sent the remote control to QB or the remote control in the panties. I don't know which one she did, But Dory had a crush bad on QB. And Kiki, that girl Kiki, she did too. And some more. But Dory had sent him to Mo Control or something to them kind of panties you wear that stimulate you down there. Now, what kind of ignorant shit is that? QB didn't even want to touch that goddamn thing. Not to make nobody a woman panties vibrate. If he would have sent it, if a man would have sent him the Mo Control to make their underwear vibrate, yeah. But as far as Dory, child, see, y'all don't know nothing about that shit. But a view is a view. We know, don't we? We know how these women was after QB. And he still got bitches after. And QB ain't studying no woman. Rick Reed ain't studying no woman. James Caldwell ain't studying no woman. Uh, ODS ain't studying no woman. Now he say he could go that way, but he ain't study. He prefer a man. Jay Wilson, he prefer a man. You know, they ain't want no damn woman. Brian, he ain't want no woman. We probably turn their guts. You know what I'm saying? Rodney, he ain't want no woman. KRN, he ain't want no woman. It's very few of them over here that we, like men, that we don't, that to me, if they don't say they gay, I ain't gonna say they gay. I'm not gonna do it. If they don't say they bi, I'm not gonna say they bi. But I might think you gay. I might think you gay, but I ain't gonna put that out on you until you come out and tell me yourself. You see what I'm saying? And the women too. It's women on here that act like they straight and they not, but they just haven't come out. It's the same with the men and the women over here. But hey, it's gays in these other places. They do like Shaquem, talking about niggas being dick in the booty and you getting dick in your booty. Okay? Some of them don't like their own kind. And that's the same way with some of these women. They say they married and got kids and shit and laying up with women every chance they get. Okay? So, I don't say what nobody do. I know what Paulette do. It's for that kind of shit. I know what I do. But I don't put nothing past nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm being for real. Because as soon as you put your trust in these motherfuckers on here, they make you look like a fool. No, I didn't do that. And then it come out in your voice that you did. Well, I did do it. See, I seen that this week over in the Mo 3B sector. A person said, nope, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But when that recording come out, well, yeah, I did. Now, what the fuck? Now, you been having your people believing all this time you ain't did no shit like that. But why come your voice on that goddamn record? See? They would have died with that lie. That's some stupid shit. Okay, so I don't even remember where I was at because I got to going. Where was I at? Shit, my mind, y'all. These lives I've been doing lately, I have been all jibber jabber. My mind been everywhere, and all of that. Child, let me get my notes. Ooh, child. Yeah, you gotta have a lot of text over here. Yeah, honey. Don't put all your eggs in one basket over here, child. And that's anywhere on YouTube, child. Okay. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of the news. The other day, the Menendez brothers, that's those guys' parents when they were, like one was like 18 and one was 20 or something like that. They went to court the other day because they was trying to get a resentencing. It was delayed again. So I don't know when they're gonna come to the end of this rainbow, but we'll see when it get there. And then this guy named O'Keefe D, he was found guilty of assault, like he in jail, and what he's in jail for is the Tupac murder. Okay, and so he been in jail fighting and shit, and I don't know when he go to court, but I'm a report on that whenever it happened. But I'm thinking that's still a good 2 years down the line, because it ain't no like you do something today and you go to court in a year now. Not nothing like that serious. Okay, like on murder and stuff. Um, and another thing, Onan, this guy I told you guys I used to watch over in the Dolph sector. He went to court the other day because he shot the skating ring up and this and that, and he didn't have no bond. They didn't give no bail. Well, he been in jail for about 3 months. Well, he went to court the other day. The judge say no bail, go back to jail. So I think that his YouTube career is over, and I mean it's over for good. By the time he get out the pen, they might not even have YouTube no more. Or YouTube might be obsolete. You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't no telling what's gonna come out next. What level we're gonna go to through on this internet stuff. Um, let me see. Okay, so uh, Bill banned Gina. And Gina is a person that hit all the goddamn panel. And for the beef sector people that don't know, she the lady that showed her ass, like her naked ass, on Nika ugly Christmas sweater contest. Okay? But he banned her. He's sick of her. He don't even want the money no more for people to buy her down. He don't want to look at her. And what she did was she was on his panel the other day and she exposed her breasts. The first time she exposed her breasts, they say you couldn't see the nipple. So they say you can show a lot of your breasts as long as you don't show the nipple. I don't know. The second time she did it, it was the whole titties was out. Okay? Now let me tell you what Wu did the other night. You know how sometimes people go to these different panels and the panel holder would, leave them up there and they go do something there. They might go to the store, or they might go in there and take a shower, or go in the kitchen cooking and stuff like that. But you have to really be able to trust somebody to lead them in on your panel because they're showing that you trust these people with your YouTube channel. Which let me tell you what Wu did. Wu was on the panel. Gina was on the panel. They was dragging each other back and forth and forth and back and forth. Okay? Now Wu was sitting up in the bed with cover on her. Wu pulled the cover down and had the camera pointed between her legs. And they say was none but Pussy. She said P-bomb, strike, P-bomb, strike. And she was laughing. And the channel holder was nowhere around. And she kept her pussy on the screen for like 30 minutes before the channel holder knew what was on his screen. Do y'all hear that? And see, when I heard that, because I was over at Ducks, and when I heard it, it was like over in the morning. And I said, "Oh my God, let me get over here to Lemon and let Lemon know," because she done people on him a couple of times. Well, but when I left, as soon as I heard it, and I wanted to get the whole story of what happened. As soon as I heard it, I left there and went to Lemon's. Lemon had been went off for 1 minute, y'all. He had just stopped his live, and it had been off for a minute. And see, today I haven't been live because I was watching that movie I told you guys about earlier, Sinners. That is the best movie. Do you hear me? Now I have some uh, website you can go on and see it free. The name of the website is BFLIX. Sinners is a black movie. It was like the time that is, you go back to like 18 like we'll say 1880. Well, this movie, you have to go back in time because it's back in the day. It kind of start off slow because they have to introduce you to the people on there and stuff. Okay. Well, honey, this is a horror movie. It has a black and white cast, mainly black. Uh, Great music, great dancing, and the horror part is great. It's vampires. If you go to B-Flix, you can watch it free. And it's in the movies right now. I think it was released on the 16th or something like that. And I had another website I was on a couple of days ago because it came on the website like the day after it was in the movies. And I had pulled it up. But then when after I got through watching my series today, I went to the other website I was on, High Movies. I went over there and see they had snatched it off. And then I started going to different websites different sites. They had snatched it off all of them. So then I said, let me think. So I went to some websites that I had been on a long time ago, and I pulled it up. And as soon as I pulled that up, I didn't go back on YouTube. I started watching the movie, child. It is a great movie. If you like Dust to Dawn, that movie, remember it started out, you didn't think it was a vampire picture, but then all of a sudden at the bar, it turned into a vampire picture. That's what this is like. And it's like a honky tonk, back in the day, the honky tonks, you know, uh, hole in the walls. That's it's like on that, and then it have like church stuff on it. But it's great dancing, great music, and great acting, honey. If you want to watch it, you can go to BFLIX and you can see that, child. Okay, let me speak to some people. Hey, Donna Hughes. Hey, a view. I seen you over there, Rich. You came in late, girl. You missed some good dragging, girl. He tore Hattie up. I don't know why she come out here after that man. Hey, Vibrant. Hey, Muffy. Hey, Kitty Cadillac. Let's see. Hey, Pam W. Okay, I think that's everybody. I think everybody in the bed. Everybody getting ready for Easter tomorrow. And child, these folks on you know the well, it's not just the beef set, but the beef set to clown every holiday. It ain't got to be no official. It could be a holiday that just ain't nobody even heard of. The beef set show their ass on every holiday, and they showing their ass this weekend. And some of them start early. Like James jumped off the porch way before the weekend. He been dragging his ass off. In the last lap he did, he beat up about 9 people. He broke about 14 brooms. Ooh, child. Ness, she got a hold of grown folks. She told his ass up. Grown folks was telling Lemon on Ness, child. You hear me? Ooh, child. Lemon. You see, Lemon. You see, she talking about my kid. Lemon. Lemon. She talking about Lemon. Lemon. Hey, Rune Shaker. Do y'all hear me? Grown folks was calling for help. He was calling for Lemon. Man overboard. And child, Tussle was over there at Lemon's last night. She still ain't got over that ass kicking Teresa gave. She still dizzy, y'all. She ain't doing all that shit talking she was doing. I want to know if you, hey, King Kong Tussle, I want to know if you have asked Dory, and that's why they didn't come help you, King Kong Dory. I mean Tussle, your bestie. Hey, Diva. Hey, John Calumniati. I know I messed that name up, but okay, you know who I'm talking to, man. I didn't try to do it. Hey, Swag. And Diva Tomboy, she's still clowning, and I love it. Hey, Daquan. Daquan, you know that game you was playing over in the wee hours of the morning? Like them zombie games like that? I watch them when they do the walkthrough play with no commentary, and I had a closed captions on. I be watching them like they movies, child. But like I don't know nothing about the fight and shit. Hey, CEO, little boss lady. Hey, just my thoughts. Hey, well informed. Oh Lord Jesus, I got my life over there in Rick Reeves a while ago. I love when he dragged, and I caught the last he did before this one. You know, cause he go live whenever he want to. Hey, Von Schella. Child. Honey, the beef said to been beefing, child. Hey, Joyce. I've been loving it too. Hey, real low key. I think that's everybody. So let me go back down here and give my notes again. Hey, Meow Meow. See that I almost missed Meow Meow. Hey, Kim B. Let me make sure. Okay. Now, let me get my notes again. Um, Wait a minute, let me drink something. Let me see. Oh, and like when Meek apologized to Duck in the wee hours of the morning, he was telling her, he let her get everything out, and he said, "We ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm not gonna talk. I ain't got nothing to say to you, and I hope you ain't got nothing to say to me. It's up in in so many words, it's up in his stuff, and he don't want to have nothing to do with her." And she kept hitting the link. The only reason he let her up because she kept hitting the link, and he got tired of saying I don't have nothing to say to you, so he did give her the opportunity to come up there to express whatever she had to say. And another thing you have to I remember when she apologized to 357, a couple weeks ago, he wasn't really wanting to hear it either. And then she was still dragging Duck because he was on the panel, and she said, "I apologize to you for 357 for the things that I've said." But she said I meant everything I have to say had been saying about Duck. So see, Duck remember that. So I think that they just, I think since he done pulled back and don't want to have nothing to do with her, that she just need to leave it alone. You know, just leave it alone. Now if y'all catch each other out in the streets like just on the ship, I could see y'all dragging. But as far as like 357s and over at Ducks, I wouldn't even go over to their channels because they don't want to have nothing to do with me. Period. You know. And Big Baby them was saying last night and that Mink don't have very many places she can go now because she caused so much trouble and turmoil when she be on different panels. And then she like to me, she take it too far. Because I'm just saying if me and you arguing back and forth, if that's all we doing, that's all we doing. But I just ain't got time for it. There's some people I'm not gonna get into it with them because I know what they'll do. And a person can make up a charge on you, you wind up having to go to court and it get thrown out. I ain't got time for that kind of shit. I got better things to do with my day, or they might fuck around and find me guilty. I ain't got time for that shit. So the people I know that's in out of court, I ain't got time for you. I ain't talking to you. You know, I'm not doing it. Period. No. My family would think I done lost my damn mind if I did go some shit like no. Okay. Let me see what else. When Mink was talking to Duck when she was apologizing, she wanted to apologize for crossing the lines. She knew she crossed the line. And when Big Baby was dragging Mink, she was saying uh that Mink didn't have $480 to get out of jail. Um, and Big Baby said she was out of retirement, that she was strictly gonna be dragging. If people drag her, she was gonna drag them, and she gonna say what she want to say. That she's not gonna be silenced, and that she tired of not saying nothing. Because like when she got out of jail and came back, she was saying she wasn't gonna be, but she said she out in the street right now, and Jackie says she is too. Um, Jackie was calling Mink a broke truck driver. She called her a broke truck driving whore, a dumbass truck driver, bitch. She said, let's go to the bank and let's match bank account with bank account. Um, and she said, like when Mink went to jail, that she was calling everybody on her to get her out of jail. They say that Emil's got her out of jail, and Emil's the one that came on YouTube and let people know that Mink was in jail because she didn't nobody know. And he was saying that she didn't have the money to get out, and he told her that it was like $480. And he the one said that it was like for a DWI. He the one said that she did like a hit and run, you know, and that's how come the people on YouTube know about it. It wasn't figured out. Didn't nobody know. She could have went in there and got out, and that would have been it. I don't know why Mills came on here, and I don't think Mills is uh, with Mink Crew anymore. I seen them kind of having words the other day, but I was doing something else, and I think he was in the chat. I think he was on the panel. I think at Bimps, and he was like F the Pink Hearts and F Mink, and I was saying, wait a minute, but you just got out of jail. I thought y'all was cool, cause he used to get up there and drag, but honey, not no more. He was up there. He was talking. He was saying crazy stuff about her, and that's how I found out they didn't get along anymore. And where Wu did that the other night was at Slap Gangs, because I got to know her. Yeah, they said that girl had that camera down between her legs for like over 30 minutes. And she was saying P-bomb, strike. And they over and over and over throughout that 30 minutes, child. And some people have it downloaded, and Duck had it. And he said it to like Big Baby and some different people that was on the panel. And they was laughing, and some people were speechless and all of that, child. Now I'm gonna have to check. I got the report on this. I did not see I didn't see Woo video, and I did not see Lady Sparkle's video. Okay, I'm going on hearsay, and I like Sparkles, and she comes in my chat. Sparkles, I'm not saying anything against you. I'm just reporting on what they talking about in the streets. Now, Sparkles, I don't know what happened, but they say you were walking around bucking naked. Okay? And they seen your front and your back. And you didn't have no clothes on. And people was dropping a link around where people could see it. Okay? And I'm glad you took it down. I'm glad I didn't see it. But people in the YouTube's talking about it, and so you're gonna be asked about it. And I was glad to see you've been out making your lives and stuff. And you still hitting panels because you hit Lemon's panel last night. And I was glad to see that. And I'm glad that you waited to like almost at the end, because there would have been all them hours they would have been bringing it up. So I think you did the best thing by coming in late and like doing what you do, dragging the hell out of people. And I thought you handled it great, and you wasn't hiding like they were saying you was hiding, child. But everybody make mistakes. And child, they say child, they say your life was up 10 days, Sparkle. Before people knew it. How you get away with that shit? Child, I'm through with that now. I just had to report on it to my people, Sparkle. Okay. And Dory was on Lemons last night. And a lot of people saying they were surprised. Why? They fearless leader was on there the night before. So Dory was gonna come over there. And that Sparkles was gonna come over there. Okay? Because they following this around like little puppy dog. And then when Lemon was asked Dory that, hey, I thought we were straight. Me and you had, we were saying we weren't gonna be doing this back and forth no more. He said, as soon as I left the panel, you started dragging. And I made a note of this. Dory said, oh no, me and you, because she want to be back over there since Nesco. She was playing dumb and all that kind of bullshit. And I'm just letting Lemon, whenever Dory drag you, just drag her back. She can't help herself. She do that kind of shit. And it is what it is. And as long as you into it with Shakim, Dory, and others are going to come for you. It is what it is. And she clout chase. So she going to drag you every chance she get. So all I would do is drag her ass back. Okay, now Ken hit the panel. And he was telling Dory, Trey George drug the hell out of you. And he was laughing and stuff. And then she started dragging him, talking about his teeth and all that kind of stuff. I liked it. And see, Dory and Ken used to be cool. They used to run plays together. They used to all be over there at ZXs. You see what I'm saying? They had a strike team and all that kind of, well, they say they had a strike team, but they were saying all that kind of bullshit. But then see, these snakes turn against each other. Dory and Ken can't stand each other right now. But the way I believe about it, A lot of these people that act like they into it on the face of YouTube where we can see them behind the scenes, them bitches still friends. Okay. I ain't studying that. Yeah, Dory was saying, we good, we good. Okay, let me see. Okay, now I'm gonna just briefly go back over to this. The not on my watch. Now, not on my watch said that Mink and Coolin had went to court like on December the 11th. It was either 10th or the 11th. Well, the next day, that's when she allegedly called the transportation company. And see, the judge had told, allegedly, the way Mink is saying it, the judge had told her when she put her on probation that not to have nothing to do with me. And so Mink said that she was told by the prosecutor after court to go over there to make do a order of protection against Cooler. And all it's just too much, you know. And it's not gonna end well. I don't think. And she asked, and not on my watch said a couple of days before Cooling accidentally and P bombed herself and lost her channel. Then she asked MHB for Mink address. And then she showed some screenshots that Cooling had sent MHB. Okay. And allegedly she said that Mink was driving drunk with her son in the car. Cooling called not on my watch called Cooling a dirty, nasty, conniving bitch. And they said that Cooling filed her protection order, I think on February the 26th. So see, this stuff is going in December, February. You know, that's too much. It's too much. I ain't got time for that kind of shit. You need to leave that shit alone. Okay? I think I told y'all about Big Baby and Eve, so I'm not gonna go over that. Um, Lemon was live the other night, and Happy and Ness got into it, and Ness called him a flip flopper, and he said, "Yeah, I'm a flip flop. I got it from you." And Ness was stunned. You could just hear crickets. I got my life, honey. Happy, honey. He did good, drag. But you know, I've been seeing him on different panels. I think Mink and him and Mink got into it. And he didn't run. That was over at Broadway's a couple of nights ago. And he was telling Broadway, drop her. We don't want to overhear stuff. And Broadway was saying, nigga, you better shut up. You drop the bag and drop her. I was laughing. And Happy was telling Ness that she have to be the center of attention. And Uppity drug ZX, and Ness drug the hell out of ZX. She drug his mama, his grandmama, his daughter, and her kids. And ZX was calling for Lemon. Lemon, man, she talking about my kids. Lemon, she talking about my great child. ZX was telling it, honey. And Lemon was telling him, man, I ain't getting in that shit. That's between you and her. You know. And I ain't got them ain't my rules what you trying to enforce over here. That's your rule. You know, Lemon was telling them so many, well, that's your goddamn rule about the kids. That ain't my rule on my panel. Now, it's some panels on YouTube, they don't let you drag kids. But Lemon ain't one of them. And then I told you guys that Ness had invited her to Uppity and uh, Ghetto Intellect dinner. And then when she found out that Ghetto didn't want her to go, that she couldn't go, she drug the shit out of Ghetto. But Ghetto was drunk. He didn't give a damn. He was laughing and everything. And Lemon and Mr. West got into it, and Lemon and Rex got into it. Now I have a couple of Lemons live. Dragon popped up the other night. Okay. And she said that she's got some surprises for everybody, but she haven't released them yet. She said that she's gonna get married and she wants a baby. She said she's not gonna be begging people on here for YouTube no more because she's working and you know the man is happy. Um, and Jadon was on the panel and she told Ken News that she was glad he was up there to fight King Kong Tussle so two men can fight. Okay. Let me see. And Kiki said that he had never seen nobody drag a tranny and a horse because you know that's what John Treasure Lane did. Uh, King Kong Tulsa and Dory was two of the people that he drug because he drug about 9 people that day. And he said he had never seen Treasure drag a tranny and a horse. And he cussed out King Tulsa and her, them kids that her husband's kids, them white kids. They were saying stuff in the background, and Child Ken cussed the kids out, child. And then he told Tulsa, "I'm gonna call CPS on you." And they wanted Jadon and Ken wanted to know where them kids' mama at, because they white and they daddy white and their mama white. They want to know where the mama was at. And Jadon said that Tulsa was still on probation, and then she called out her 2 case numbers that she got. Dory and Jadon got into it. They was dragging each other. But Jadon really wasn't in the dragging mood. She was in the pesky mood. You know what I'm saying? And this was last night. Um, okay. Now the other night I told you guys that Lemon have it where he said that Jadon wasn't gonna be bought off his panel. And I told y'all it was gonna be a goddamn problem, okay? Well, last night was the problem. Somebody sent 1999 in to drop J Dub. Okay. Lemon, you could hear the cricket. Okay. Because of course J Dub, hey, you said you weren't gonna drop me and did Lemon okay. So the chat was going crazy. And then Lemon finally said, now the person sent in 1999 to drop J Dub. Well, Lemon said, nah, I'm sending you your money back. Then I'm going to read what some of the people was putting in here. The person that dropped J Dunn name was Lemon Scam Sublease. And that person sent in the 1999 to drop J Dunn. And when Lemon said he wasn't going to drop her, people was putting in the chat, you dropped Lady Snoop for $9.99. You dropped Sir King for $19. And they was put shaking my head. And then person, the lemon scam subbies person, they got tired and they just said, forget it, keep it. I'm out. And others wrote on there about him dropping Snoop again. Somebody said $10. And then they said Lemon said it was just for 10 minutes, like when he dropped Snoop. And then somebody else put Lemon. So you don't allow drops going forward? And they were saying you need a disclaimer on the screen, to let people know, like the rules of the game, because he changing it up, because you can drop people for 10 minutes, you can drop people for an hour. The time's just different, and it's different prices. The people can't keep up with it. It needs to be clear. Everybody needs to understand what the rules are, because it was a lot of confusion over there yesterday. Okay, a lot. And he's gonna have that every night. And some people was put in there, Jay Dunn run this shit show. And then another person put, I told you, Lemon, you was going to regret that dirty deal you made. She thinks now, she think this how the game is played. And then like when Dory got brought down and Tulsa left with her. Jay Dunn had been up on the panel, and I mean, she was giving Lemon hell all night. I mean, it was a madhouse, okay? But she wasn't the only mad hatter. It was others up there. But you get one crazy MF on the panel, you're gonna have about 3 or 4 on the goddamn panel. Even if they wasn't acting crazy before, this one acting crazy, they all start acting crazy. Like when kids start crying, one cry, all of them cry. Okay? And so before, while Dory was gone and while Tulsa was gone, and it was way after that, Jadon said, Lemon, are you going to allow Dory back up? And Lemon said, well, no, because his head was all messed up. What Jadon left and when he took a shower, she had been off of the panel for a while. Well, Dory and Tulsa hit the link. And they got to come back up there. Well, when J Dog came back from taking her shower, she seen Dory and Tulsa on the panel, and she was telling Lemon he wasn't a man of his word. I asked you before I left to go take my shower, was you gonna allow this bitch back over here? And when I come back here, this bitch sitting up here, and he was saying, Dory, Jadon Dory was gone over an hour. She didn't get bought down for the whole night. She just got bought down for a certain amount of time. Well, honey, that shit went back and forth for an hour. I was so sick of Jadon. Because Jadon was doing Jadon, okay? She do what she do. And Lim, you was doing Jadon. you was acting just crazy as you could be, child. But you know what? I told you that Jadon has done this before. She make them back alley deals with y'all. Then get pop up back on y'all panels. Y'all take that blood money, and then she got you by the mouth. And Jada, honey, when that live was over, Lemon was just weak. Do you hear me? He didn't want to talk no more. He didn't want to hear nobody talk anymore. He didn't have no Discord. He didn't want to do a damn thing but get off of this application. Do you hear me? He said it took everything he could to get to that 5 hours. He said, that's all I'm giving y'all. I'm getting ready to go. And then people up tussling and say, don't leave me. Why you gonna leave me? And all that kind of shit. Lemon was through with YouTube last night. Jada was telling him he wasn't a man of his word, and you didn't keep your word, and you told me this, and people was hitting the panel saying, yeah, Lemon, you did tell her that. And I was saying, this don't make no motherfucking sense. And then Jay Dunn started releasing information on how she got to be back over there at Lemon's child. They did have a back behind the stage a conversation concerning this how the shit started. They were having a conversation behind the scenes about Jada them strikes that she gave Shakim. And then Lemon was saying about legal action, which he have said that before on his panel. And he said, Jada, I don't know how to strike her. She was telling me to strike it. And Lemon was saying, girl, you know I don't know how to strike. And so Lemon was supposed to call her back later on, and she was gonna coach him on how to strike. Okay, and Lemon didn't call her back. And then they met up over their YouTube cameras, and I think they met up over their Pizarros too. And this how this shit was playing out. And then I think it was on Pizarro when he said he wasn't gonna have her bought off his panel no more and all that bullshit. And that's when I went live that night and I said, hey, Lemon finna cause himself some goddamn problems about this not buying the J Down shit. Well, see, he came on that night and he said, no, I didn't mean it like that. Like she couldn't be bowed down for the night, but not like you could like bow down for 10 minutes and shit like that. He didn't make it very clear to everybody. That's why everybody got a problem with what's going on. Okay? And CJ Dunn got mad because last week she got bowed down off a lemon panel, and then one of her people bought her back up. Well, then somebody bought her down again, and Jay Dunn told him, "Hey, don't send them more money. Don't send them more money. We out of here." And Jay Dunn was making a big deal of it where she went, just like Snoop did, when she got bought down for the $9.99. So they going from pound to pound talking about being bought down. To me, if you don't want to get bought down, don't go to where they got to buy down game. To me, I don't get it. They like people got mad at 357 Broadway for having to buy down. They still mad over there. They've been mad at Mahia. Now Bill don't have such a big problem. He got a buy down game. Captain don't have such a problem. He got the buy down game. And there's other content creators in these sectors that have it. Why they just pick on certain ones? Ness got it. Brianna, I think she got it. ODS got it. If you don't want to get bought down, don't go to those channels. Don't go to those channels. Because it might be somebody in the chat that will buy you down. And I've seen people get bought out of chats. It is what it is. And why you get mad, I don't get it. Okay? Well, honey, like I told you guys that Sparkles came. And so Sparkles came and she drug Dory. And Dory tried to drag back, but she didn't do that good of a job. But she was saying stuff like that, that she was calling Sparkles pigsty, living bitch. And then, they was dragging each other back. And then Ian jumped, of course, Tulsa. and she's still jumping in with Dory, to help Dory. But like I said, King Kong tells her, did nobody come to help you? You always jumped up, want to swing for people that go at Ness, want to swing at people that go at Shakim, want to swing at people that want to go at Dory. So you going to get drugged around these streets, honey. Because I'm not the only one that see that shit. Okay, oh, I forgot to say this, and I really hate that. Natasha Milan passed. It just got out on YouTube yesterday. Allegedly, and I haven't seen her obituary or anything like that. I haven't been on the website, for the funeral home or anything. And I'm not going. But allegedly, she passed like back in November. And Natasha, I hope you rest in peace. You fought a good battle. You live your life how you wanted to live it. It was your life. You did what you wanted to do. And, you will be missed on YouTube because I met you through the beef set, Tasha. Okay? Um, and I'm through with that. Let me go down some. Okay, and I went by Bimps and he had blocked Big O and he blocked Gina. They bought Happy down and they bought Duke down. And Mink and Happy got into it and he called Mink an informant. And then this guy named I don't think I know him. His name was Wavy Gang Podcast. And he got on the panel. I'm trying to think of who was arguing with Duke. Well, some guy was up there had been arguing with Duke. And they had, when they bought Duke down, that ended their argument. Well, when Duke got bought down, this guy named Wavy Gang Podcast, he got up there and he said he was in Arlington. Whoever that guy was that was arguing with Duke, he told him, man, I'm in Arlington. Pull up. And he said, because ain't nobody going to F with Duke. And I was saying, And then Candace got tired of hearing him talk, that Wavy guy. And she said, you ain't going to do shit. That you ain't nowhere near Arlington and that you is in your grandmama basement. And she drove the shit out of him and he left, honey. Okay, and then Mink told Happy that she was gonna call adult protection service on him. And he and Mink said that she had like his grandmother or his mama information and that she was gonna, you know, turn him in, tell it to the adult protection people. And he said, I don't care what you tell. And Meek said she was gonna fuck his check up. And he was saying, I don't get no goddamn check. And then Meek was saying for him to quit following her. And he said, hell, I ain't been following you nowhere. I was here first. And then somebody in the chat put in the chat, and Meek read it out loud, that he had indecent exposure charges. And she called him a dirty, dirty slime ball. And that he was a liar. And she say, Minx told him, and Happy, I know you've been talking about me. He said, I sure have been talking about you. Happy is retarded. You hear me? Um. Okay, now this is SD a couple of days ago. Oh, Mink was over there and she said that somebody had made a false PPO on her. It's a restraining order or no contact order. And that's when she went and filed them charges herself. So SD was asking her why did she do that, and she said the reason that she did it because they won't, they won't leave her alone, and as long as people mess with her, she's gonna protect herself. She's gonna do whatever she got to do to protect herself and her child. And she said anybody I have a legal issue with, I don't bother them, you know. And she was saying don't cry when when you get papers put on you. Okay, I understand that. If I felt in danger, I would do the same thing too. And Big Baby got up there and she said that Meek messed with Jackie, Foolin, her. She just started calling out 50 different people that Meek had messed with. Okay. And then one day, Tracy went live, and this been days ago, okay? And she asked Crystal if she said that Lemon was messing around with little boys, okay? And Crystal said, no, I didn't say that. Well, Diva have pulled up some information, um, different ones in the YouTube streets that was in Crystal Live said that she did say that, but she was study saying to Tracy that she didn't say it, you know. Um, so I don't know what's gonna go on with her and Tracy, but they was on the panel together the other day when Tracy was dragging Tulsa, so they still, it's still pretty even right now. That ain't nobody like push no table over or nothing, but I kind of see that coming in the future. I think that it's gonna be a problem with Tracy and Crystal. That's just my opinion, okay? And over there at okay, wait a minute. And the other night when Rodney was over at Lemons, Sandy told him to get off the ropes, to fight back. Don't let nobody drag you, and you just say, "Well, I ain't gonna say nothing," you know. And she was saying how it make him look weak and all of that. And uppity drug Hershey. Rex was into it with Lemon. Okay. And Hershey was got into it with Ness. And Ness had let her on her panel, and she was calling Ness. She was saying Hershey called Ness boil lip, and Ness was calling Hershey the moldy queen. And Hershey's drug Diamond Dory, and she was calling her Diamond Deranged Dory, Diamond Deranged Dory. Okay. And Hershey told Dory that she turned on Pastor for nothing. Ghetto got into it with Peter Panakiller, And I never that was the first time I heard Peter Pound Killer voice. And Peter Pound Killer, honey, he was holding his own. So that's all I can say about him. But I do see Peter Pound Killer around in chats, you know. But that's the first time I'd ever heard his voice. Okay, and QI was drunk, and she's still mad at Lemon about them people over there in that British camp. At British, the sect. I don't fool around over there because they like to throw around the word nigga too much for me. Them white folks over there, I ain't got time for that shit. And putting it all in the chat, I don't have time for that. I really don't. But QI seemed to love it over there. She seemed to fit in. And if that what float her boat, let it float. Okay? But QI wanted to set Lemon straight. And Lemon, his phone kept messing up. So QI won that. And QI told Lemon if it wasn't for Ness, he wouldn't be shit. And she wanted Lemon to know that Mel is not a racist. And she said that Lemon had been playing on her top. And she said something about putting a finger up his booty. And what she said that, I don't know why she said that. And Lemon called QI thing. And some man got up there named Don. And then they were saying his real name was Mikey or something like that. And he wanted to talk about QI about, because QI say this man beat women. Because she said that the nest on the panel. Well, honey, that man got up there on the panel and he said that he did not beat his woman. He mushed her in the face. Uh, and he said he'll mush a woman in the face, you know. And honey, Ness, when she heard that shit, she threw that nigga off the panel, honey. She threw him off of there on his head. And she cussed him out. And Lemon and KRN squashed their beef. And KRN is King Roman News. He's a content creator over here. Now, King Roman News have a good channel, too. I went by YouTube cameras, and she was saying that people can't take roasts and drags. And Lemon was saying, no, she was saying something about the false flagging and stuff like that. And Nova got up there and said he don't flag nobody. And Noble, yes, you do flag, because you remember you were saying how you were flagging Tracy. I don't know why you got up there and laugh. I think you got up there because that pretty girl, that Polly girl, I think her name Polly or something like that. She's been coming on camera, sitting on like lemon panel. I think she went up on YouTube cameras. She's a very pretty woman. And one of them men be hitting that panel when she go over there. They be so nice. They be so nice. And Noble was one of the ones that hit the panel when that lady was up there. I thought it was cute. And Brian and Pastor, they still doing Pastor go live several times a day. And when Brian getting ready for work, he goes over there and they have a morning bash. They go back and forth. And then Pastor be going live throughout the day, and sometimes he talk about Brian throughout the day. Well, when Brian get off work, it starts again. They had a nighttime clash. And then both of them will go to bed feeling fine and get up and do it the next day. That's their pattern. It ain't gonna change. And some reason, Pizarro was saying something about MU and Don Cato about him dumping her. Girl, he done dumped that girl so many times. That's just a relationship. Okay. And Dory was up there, and she said that she was on Bizarro panel. She said, y'all know Kimmy drove the hell out of her a couple of days ago. She said that Kimmy Reeves was a flat line. And she said that KRN is supposed to dox her. And she said she'll be there. And she was calling the subbies gullible. And she was saying she was complaining about when Mother dragged her when ZX and all them was over there. And she was saying it was a bit much. And that it was a setup and all of that. Well, child, after that, uh, James went last, Trey Joy, he went live and said, damn right it was a setup. He set you up, Dory. He say he did. Ooh, child. And beans and cornbread and Pizarro got into it at Lemons. And the reason they got into it, this is the craziest shit. Okay, Lolo's supposed to have a live a couple of days ago. And it was like an adult live. I don't know if it was like relationship. I don't know if it was like sex. I don't know what the live was about. But during this live, Beans and Cornbread allegedly said she didn't give a damn for her husband cheat because she got, she got the cars, the house, everything, money, you know, and she's, that's what they say. Now, I don't know. Well, Pisa got up on Lemons and she was highly offended that Beans and Cornbread would say something like that. And she was wanting Beans and Cornbread to hit the link. Well, Beans and Cornbread didn't hit the link. And then finally she did. And it was like maybe 30 or 40 minutes after they would want her to hit the link. And child, her and Pizarro got into it. And they argued and they was throwing some low blows. I'm trying to find where I was at. It was bad. Okay. Uh, she was saying, wait, Beans and Cornbread told Pizza, my husband ain't never cheated on me. She said he ain't never brought me no STD. Uh, she say she's a mother and a wife, and she told Pizza that she was good for sucking ding ding online, and she called Pizza dumb because she be online every day, and she was uneducated, and that she was an uneducated whore, and she said that Pizza mama failed her. She said Pizza don't know shit. And the piece, her voice goes up in octaves. And Beans and Cornbread was saying, why is you hollering at me? She was saying, I'm calm. Why you hollering? And she was asking Pizarro, where is your son King? And she was saying that Pizarro's husband, like he was so trifling that he came on YouTube to ask for tires for his raggedy truck. And she said that Pizarro, where is King at? She said you said that he was special needs and he had autism. And she was hollering, King, King. And she was saying, knock on the floor to let us know you're there. And she said that King had 2 birthdays in 1 year. And she wanted to know how you go around your kids every day smelling like weed. And then Beans Cornbread told her, shit, Pizarro, you ain't got no damn kids. And that you lying that you got kids and you lying that you got a husband. And she say, why come you don't take your kids on vacation? You don't take them nowhere. Why come you don't do nothing with the family? And she said that you would do all that hollering. And she said Pizarro was a nasty troll. And she said, I got you out your body. And she was telling her how mad she was. And she said, now you had them King and the other one. She said, then all of a sudden you wound up with popped up with two extra dollars. And she said that Pizarro said that Brianna smelled like human. And she said, what a human smell like? Do they smell like garbage? Or do they smell like perfume? And she told Pizarro, yeah, you was up here talking all that shit. You thought I wasn't gonna hit the link. And she said that she was at work. That's why come she didn't hit the link earlier. And she said she asked King, do you know that your mama sucked your daddy ding ding online? Well, honey, Pizza wasn't going for that. And she said that so you allow your husband to cheat on you for money, cars, and a house. She said, you don't care? And she said she know that he bring STDs home. And she said that she was old and miserable. You know, she was an old, miserable, old bitch. And that she let her husband treat her like dog shit. She said that beans and cornbread is weak. And why you letting your husband cheat on you? Because you got low self-esteem. And Pizarro said that beans and cornbread was lye roasted. And she said, that nigga don't want you, bitch. Talking about her husband. She said, your husband don't love you. Your husband don't pay attention to you. And she said, don't you worry about her kids beans and cornbread. And she was telling her to drop down, ho, because beans and cornbread said that she was getting off for the night because she was at work. The child beans and cornbread stayed up there another 30 minutes. And Pizza was saying, drop down, ho, drop down, ho. And finally, beans and cornbread did drop off. Um, I did that already. Let me get through that because I did that. This is deep for another day, and I went over that with you guys the other day. I remember that. Okay, now I am going to talk about this part. Now, Foolin did go over the SDs the other night, you know, and she, that's when I found out that she had put like the restraining order on me. I think I told y'all about that. Yeah, she had injuries on her hand. Yeah, I already talked to y'all about this, so I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I ain't gonna do that. Over at over at Bimps the other night, that flame guy that living with Duke, he got up there and he was saying he would die for Duke. Uh, he got into it with Doug. He was saying that he'll die for Duke name, and it's just wild to me, okay? Uh Big Reed say that he would beat up Flame. No, Big Reed say he beat up Flame in jail. They had been in jail before years ago. They was in jail together, and he said he whooped Flame in jail. And everybody was saying, what? And Pacino, he hit the link, and he said, rest in peace to Gina's leather wallet, Uzi. And he Mills and Roast to Toast got into it. And then Mills and Cooley got into it. Okay, I got that one. And KRN the other day, he came on and he said that him and Dory had been beefing like since January. And he said they just gonna keep it like it is. He, as long as they keep it cute, the light banter back and forth, he don't mind that. He said it had escalated for enough for him like to dox her or use that information that Kimmy them gave him, the information, and Rob B had gave him some information. He said he had they it haven't escalated up to that yet. Like to use something like that on her. Okay, and Ness went live and Kimmy hit the panel. And while her and Kimmy and Ness was talking, Reed, the Heart of Philadelphia, she dropped in the chat and she said that she already got that info that Kimmy sent KRE. That y'all just regurgitating old stuff. But now this is the way I see things on here. Like the people that dox and stuff like that, they be sending stuff to each other. They do. You don't even have to be done nothing to some of them. They'll send your information and then they go to another person, go like that. With the country, I ain't got time for that. I ain't gonna be doing none of that. No, I don't want nobody calling me or my email. My email already full of bullshit, and I don't need that other kind of bullshit in there. You know, I don't want that shit. You know, well, KRN did do a live, and he said that he didn't need that stuff that Kimmy them sent him, and he said that that was like old information. He had already had a whole lot of that stuff, and he was insinuating that the reason they sent him that information is so he could put it out. You know, but he said, it ain't that serious. Okay, and then he said that he know better too. Then, like when people send you information because they fighting with somebody, and they say, "Well, Paulette, here you go. This is something on whoever because I'm fighting with them." Well, that is you helping me with information on the other person. I don't want that. I just want my drag to be fair. Fair above the board. We drag each other and be through with it. And I ain't going to jail. I'm not going. It's some people put too much into this shit, and I don't understand it. Okay, but that's it. I finally got y'all caught up on my notes, child. I was way behind. Do you hear me? I'm so glad I got caught up on this shit. Okay, but let me see how long I've been on. I went 43 minutes. That's not bad for all that stuff I had to get caught up on. Hey, Jonay. Janice. Hey, Brown's Beauty World. People ain't nothing better to do with their money. Child. They could send it to me. I could do something with it, child. Let me see if I missed anybody. I think that's it. I got everybody. But I'm getting ready to get back out of these streets. And I want to thank you guys for coming in, spending time with this old lady on a Saturday before Thanksgiving. And I bet you the streets are going to continue to be bloody. Now, I'm going to get out here and try to mop some of this damn blood up because everywhere I go, I'm tired of walking in blood. Okay. But I hope you guys, like I said, if you haven't hit my like button, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 3,000. Wow. Okay. Ooh, child. I'm gonna go over here and peek and see if Heidi done said something. Ooh, child. Child, I'm gonna go over there and see if Deanna said something because she was in Big Read chat and she was really typing. Okay. And you know what? To me, Rick is having a ball, Deanna having a ball, and even though Hattie getting the hell drug out of her, Hattie's having a ball, okay? It's just a way to be sick to do it. And it's about time. It's the be second that got boring. I love it like it is. And if y'all see me out moving around these streets, if you happen to see me at Lemons tonight, if he go live, remind me to tell him about what Wu did so he don't let her back on his panel. Okay? Because if she doing them people in the Mo 3 sector like that, you can bet she'll do the people over here like that. And the same goes for Gina. Okay? And we got enough striking going on. We don't need that, especially from another sector. So, y'all, like I said, if y'all see me out and I forget to let him know, please let me know. Let me know so I can tell the whatever channel I'm at. Remind me so I can let the channel holder know that Wu is actually showing between her legs. Okay? Ooh, child. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.